Hey guys, my name's Nate and I'm the Otter Outdoorsman. And in this video, we're going to be taking a look at my favorite gear from 2016. In this video, I'm going to be taking a look at some of my favorite gear from 2016 that I got or was primarily used in 2016. And I'm going to try and start doing this every year, kind of like I do with my montages at the end of every year. And let me show you some of the gear that I'm going to be using. I started using. Now this doesn't mean some of this I did get before 2016 started, but I really started using it in 2016, or I really got into using it in 2016. So first off, one of the big products that made a huge difference in my kit was the Hidden Woodsman Possibles pouches. I have 3 of these. One of them is actually up here on my shelf, and it holds one of my survival kits. It will be coming down off the kit when I need it for certain trips, but for right now it's just kind of up here as kind of a display piece. But I have 2 other ones, one of which actually houses my first aid kit, which will be a later video, and one of them that houses kind of just my everyday kit, or my bushcraft kit, if you want to call it that, or whatever you want to call it. These became pretty much essential in my kit. I've been planning on doing a review for them, but because I've had so many different kits, I kind of want to do a individual video for the different kits I keep in them before I do the review, if that makes any sense, so I can then reference those kits in the review, especially the first aid kit. This is almost done. I've been kind of testing it out here and there, and it's been doing me really well. But as far as these go, as far as kit organization goes, these possible pouches have made all the difference. And not being too expensive, they're not bad. Now, one of the other pieces of kit that really made a difference to me was bought on a whim of me kind of being interested in something, which is my E&O double nest hammock. I wasn't sure if I wanted to get into hammock camping or not. And I got the hammock and started using it, and one of my first setups is actually on camera. And it changed how I camp. It really did. And this is why I kind of made it into my list for this year, was because it changed. It basically just changed how I camp. I was a ground tent sleeper for the longest time. And after camping in a hammock, I think those are some of the best sleeps I've ever gotten in the woods. And I've gotten more gear, but this kind of started that path for me, and definitely for 2016, this did mark it as one of the one of the big stepping stones for me with camping and starting to do hammock camping. One of the other fun products that I got were battery packs. I had like a small battery pack that kind of converted like AA's into USB power, which was okay. But in one of the Karen boxes that I got a Power Practical that had I think it's the Power Practical Lithium 4400, that becomes a flashlight and also is a power source. This has enough charge to charge your cell phone twice if you have a smartphone. And it also can be a flashlight. I ended up getting a second one. I ended up getting one of their other ones, their Proton, I think it's the 12. Either that or it's the Proton, I think it's a Proton 5. I can't fully remember which one. It doesn't actually say it on it. I lost the box. I think I threw out the box, I don't remember. But having these with me became very useful, especially on hiking trips when it comes to charging electronics. If you are a YouTuber, being able to charge camera equipment in the field is super useful. So having these is useful, but also having these allows for something else, which is one of the other products that I really did like this year, which is, by again Power Practical, the Luminoodle. This product I saw and I wanted to try out, and I found, and I really liked it. I tried it out on that video that I did, and it gave good light. And I start taking this I take this camping with me, especially tent camping, because this in like a 2-3 person tent lights it up nicely. It actually lights it up as if, like say you're at home and you just have an overhead light on, enough that I've been able to sit and play cards by. I've been able to sit and read a book if we wanted to, or just relax. Even so much that I actually backed up their Indiegogo, and I backed up their upgraded versions, and I haven't opened them yet, but I actually do have them here. I've been waiting for my next major camping trip. My last camping trip, I would have brought these with me, but they came a week later. But I bought the Luminoodle Color Plus. Well, I got the Luminoodle Color Plus, which is similar to this, but I believe this one is, it's the same length, but it's a bit more powerful, wireless control, and also does colors. And for things like cellophane, if I go next year, I'm not sure if I am, or for bigger camping trips, for base camp, I bought the 20-footer base camp version that has multiple magnets in it. I think like every 2 feet has a magnet in it with loops, and I can't wait to try this out. It'd be fun for base camps or outdoor stuff. It also changes colors like the other one, and has a wireless remote and all that stuff. Has a car adapter. I can actually plug it into my wall and everything. So something like this would be good for car camping. And one of the reasons I bought this was also for car camping trips like cellophane, where I could plug this into a power source, and we could light up if we have a lot of people and we're doing something. We can have this, and we can have good light, especially to record by. If I'm with a bunch of people like me who are YouTubers and need good light, because otherwise we tend to sit by firelight, and we don't need much firelight. Well, we don't need much light to talk, but if we're doing things, sometimes you need a little extra light. So something like that is very useful. But it all started with getting these power packs and then noticing this. I can't wait to try those out. One of the other bits of gear that actually came in very useful is actually, for the longest time, up until, 6 months ago, was a flip phone user. I was very hesitant to get one to upgrade, but I ended up getting a smartphone. I ended up getting a Galaxy S7. This has actually been a very useful piece of gear. It's a really good camera. I'm able to, if I want, I don't usually use it for taking videos. I have a good camera for that, but I like taking it so if I want to take quick stills, I don't have to dig out my camera. I can just whip it out, take a quick picture, put it back in my pocket. So it's a quick point and shoot that's in my pocket. I can look up maps if I need to. I recently discovered I have a couple fitness apps on here that actually I can track my hikes and see how far I hiked. So it has some fun stuff on there. I even have a couple bird identification. I have a bird identification app on there. I have some other fun things on there that can be useful. And if I need certain resources or if I need certain information, I literally have the entire world's worth of information at the tip of my finger, and especially when I'm hiking, that makes this useful. But mostly, I like for the camera. I don't normally go on social media when I'm out on hikes, even though I have this in my pocket, and I don't usually like text or call or anything. It's mostly just there for also emergencies. One of the other things that came in that I've been using a lot, not always when I go on hikes, but so when I made my prototype survival kit, I ended up buying a Leatherman sidekick. It was small, fit in that kit perfectly. But I found I wanted to have a Leatherman for when I do work. That one didn't have everything I wanted for when I'm doing a lot of work around the house, or if I'm helping people out with things, or if I'm moving a lot of stuff. So what I ended up doing was I actually ended up buying a Leatherman Wave for myself this year. This is not always, I sometimes take this when I go camping. I don't always take it when I go camping or hiking or whatever. I take this a lot. I tend to be when I'm in, workshop mode. This is one of the tools I tend to carry around with me a lot. When I'm in building mode, as I sometimes like to call it, or workshop mode. Because it's useful. I like the knife on it. I get a lot of good use out of it. It's made. Anyone who's ever owned one can tell you these are good. This is a good multi-tool, and I'm not sure how much else to say about it. I mean, the tools in it are useful. Mostly what I use it for, I sometimes use it for the pliers, but mostly I use it for the knife and the Phillips head on it, mostly. Other than that, I don't use it for much else, unless situation needs it. But because it's in my pocket, well, it's on my hip, I can easily just take it out, knife, boom. Because my actual EDC knife that I carry on me is actually a Swiss Army knife, and as nice as that is, sometimes it's not always the best for a lot more tougher jobs. But for the type of my daily life and how things are for my daily life, a Swiss Army knife deals with that. So when I'm in, as I say, workshop mode, or if I'm in if I'm out doing things outdoors and I need a quick knife, this is definitely the knife that I like to use a lot. It's kind of my we'll call it a pseudo EDC. While I'm on the topic of knives, one that I bought this year and I've kind of used this year, I've tested out, but I haven't really taken out a lot, and hopefully we'll see what's coming up here a lot more, is one that I saw and fell in love with, which is the Mora Eldris. I've tested this out. I really did. I filmed it, I just didn't like the video, which is why there is no video on this. I love this knife. It is small. I like small knives. Anyone who has watched my channel long enough knows I like small knives. I like ones that are out of the way, and I'm one of those people that kind of goes by the philosophy of it's not the size of the knife, it's how you use it. And this is a good carving knife, and this thing can strike a ferro rod straight out of the box. And it carved good feather sticks straight out of the box. Maybe I'll grab a couple of clips, throw them up on here if I remember. If not, you can take my word for it. But nevertheless, this is a nice little knife. Hopefully you'll see more of it on my channel. I do plan on bringing this out more, especially when I go do some camping coming up. Hopefully going to try and do some winter camping. I got some snowshoes for Christmas. Got some new snowshoes for Christmas, which are built a little bit more for my weight. So hopefully we have enough snow this year for some actual some snow camping now that I actually have a sled. One of the other bits of gear that I played around with a bit and I really did like, and I kind of want to use a bit more. I wish they made a bigger version of these, but it's nice to have on my hip, is a bottle by Hideaway. It's a machine washable, and this is a 20-ounce one. I got this in a Karen box, but it is a 20-ounce foldable bottle that I got in, oops, that's why, that I got in a Karen box. This is a really nice packable bottle. I do like packable equipment. I like it because it can fold out. I can fold out to this much, holds about the same amount as a plastic bottle, but you can basically just folds down to that size. Fit in my pocket, fit in my backpack. I've clipped it on. I've tested it out with clipping it onto my hip and on hikes with it. And what I do is as I drink from it, I reduce it in size whenever I've drinking out of it, and it can be shrunken in size. I reduce it in size so it kind of takes up less space on my hip, and I'll clip it on there, and once it's done, I'll pocket it, and it's basically, I just kind of treat it like a hip water bottle. And honestly, I like it. I hopefully will probably try and use this more this year. I'm hoping to get a lot more hiking this year. Just this past year was busy, so I didn't get as much in as I wanted to. But nevertheless, this was a good bottle, and I may be using this a bit more. And last, but definitely not least, this will probably be the third time that this backpack has shown up on camera as a product that has become main to me, but my Cotopaxi. Definitely a winner for this year. My Cotopaxi Luzon 18 liter, the backpack that folds down into a small container. I did a review on this year, and I also got this in a Karen box. Definitely one of my more comfy backpacks. It's great because it folds down to my luggage, and I love it. I'm not going to go into too much detail about this because I do have a review on it. I don't want to take away from that, and I don't want to be a spinning record on it, but nevertheless, definitely a good backpack. I'll try and remember to put some links down to some of these products down below if you are interested in them, and I'll try and remember to post links to some of their videos down below or onto the end cards. But yeah, these are some of the products that I have been using this year, or ones that I've really liked from this year. Anyways, my name's Nate, and I'm the Outdoorsman. You have a good day, and remember, get out in the woods and have some fun. See everyone.